My name is Matthew Pagoaga. My practice is kind of a technology, media, data practice, sometimes all three, sometimes one or two. It kind of mixes and matches. And I have two works here. So this piece is And I'm Afraid of Whales. It's a very personal piece about myself and my two siblings. We have had conversations over the past couple of years about our fears, and as the title of the piece implies, And I Am Afraid of Whales. And my brother, who is African American, has had multiple problems with police forces in his life and is afraid of the police. And my sister, who is a family attorney, has had lots of problems with, violent men. And so we talked about these things as kind of the privilege of our fears, the privilege of being afraid of whales, and also just where those fears are mitigated by media or intervened by media from our childhood. I mean, we grew up watching not only Free Willy, but NYPD Blue or Law and Order. My brother, still being afraid of police, still watches Law and Order, and propaganda, still is part of his life and part of his entertainment. And so it's a piece kind of interrogating a lot of those media influences and the way that they hindered or helped or negated or something the fears that we kind of experience as adults. And it works in layers, and you can kind of control the layers of the media that you kind of delve into, and it's kind of user-driven in this interactive kind of space. As I've had these conversations with my siblings, it feels like an excavation. So I wanted to create a device that would kind of mimic that kind of excavating a personal history or a personal nostalgia. Here in this device, the user is able to actually kind of do some of that excavating and kind of uncover these layers of some trauma or some things that helped or some things that mitigated, and kind of examine that for themselves. Trust is a piece that I think at its core is very about the exchange of personal data for entertainment, and that we're all doing kind of constantly every day. If we use our phones, if we use social media, or even if we just input our number at the grocery store, we're willingly kind of giving over this information. And I think that's what I wanted to explore in the piece. But simultaneously, as I made it, I realized that people would inherently mistrust this device because it was an art object. And so I became kind of interested in that, and interested in the way that, industrial production kind of legitimizes and codifies objects as trustworthy. When you see something is like machine made, you're like, oh, well, that's a legitimate object. That's not a handmade thing that I'm gonna explore. And kind of why I'm interested in why is one more inherently trustworthy than the other, and the way that capitalism kind of lends that no, it is trustworthy because it's mass produced kind of. And so there's the piece, and then it's surrounded by these kind of satellite pieces that are a mix of either machine made or handmade, and kind of probing that kind of conflict.